In this lecture, we will talk about the line impedance and the reflection coefficient. So let's start with we will talk about the line impedance, and then we will talk about the reflection coefficient. So we will talk about the two things in this lecture: reflection coefficient. Okay, I will take one by one. So let me draw some transmission line. So suppose you have a transmission line here, and let use connected here with some load ZL. That is the the complex load you connected at this point, at the end point of the transmission line, and let the direction of this is Z in this direction. So here the Z axis is along this direction. So we have aligned the transmission line in the Z axis. Let's take this length of this transmission line to be L. So here you have the transmission line length is L, and this is a coordinate Z equals to ZL. That is the location where Z load is connected to end point of the transmission line, and this point now will become ZL minus this length L. Now let for simplicity make it 0. So we assume that this is a point where this is 0. That is ZL is 0. This is a location at 0. So ZL is connected to transmission line where we have aligned such a way that this point is aligned to origin, that is Z equals to 0. Then this will be the Z equals to minus 1. This is a general case, and this is the specific case. Now this transmission line will have some Z naught, or you have a gamma or beta. So we say that the characteristic impedance is Z naught, and the voltage and current at some points. So let this is some Z, and here you have the voltage across this point at this location is VSZ. We are talking in the phasor form, and here the current is passing is ISZ, and let this voltage at this Z equals to 0 across this ZL. So this is VL. So we are assuming that at this whatever voltage is here, this same voltage will be across ZL. So we are ignoring this transmission line. So this is also a connecting point. We assume that the load is directly connected to at this 2 point. So just to show that this is different from this point, because I have shown with a single line. This is a voltage VL. Let this plus minus at this moment, this plus minus, and the current flowing this load is at this point is called the IL. So this is a general current IZ. This is the function of space, and this is a function of space. So we are talking about this current and voltage at a particular value of Z. Now we define the line impedance. We take the line impedance. So we define the line impedance as, before that, what is the voltage Vs and Isz? So we know that we are talking about the line impedance. So we just underline this one, and we can remove this part here. So we are just right now talking about the reflection coefficient. So this is a line impedance we were talking about. Before that, what is the total voltage? Vsz comprised of two parts. One is the incident voltage wave, another is the reflected voltage wave. So at this point, what we have Vs plus Z plus Vs minus Z. This is called this part is called the incident wave moving in the positive Z direction, and this is the voltage wave which is moving in the negative z direction, that's called a reflected wave. So the formula for this will be general v naught plus e to the power minus gamma z, and here it will be v naught minus e to the power plus gamma z. We say gamma is a propagation in general. So we have two parts. So generally the wave propagating in this part is called the V plus Z, and the wave reflected after this ZL, reflected by the ZL, will moving in the negative Z direction, will also moving in the transmission line, is called the negative here. So there will be two points. Similarly, for the current, total current is given by, you have V naught plus over Z naught. So here in general it will be I naught, seems in the same way, e power minus gamma z, and plus I naught minus e power gamma z. When you write in term of v naught, so we have already done this one. This will be v naught over z naught e to the power minus gamma z, and it will be, because this ratio v naught plus over I naught plus is called the characteristic impedance, so we can have this z naught, and here it will be v naught minus over z naught will be e to the power minus gamma z. So just taking out here, the 1 over z naught will be v naught e to the power minus gamma z minus v naught minus e to the power gamma z. This is how we have this part. So we have this one, vsz and iz. So the line impedance is defined by z. This is a phasor form. So z is equals to total voltage at point z, total divided by total current ISZ. This is the ratio of the total voltage divided by the total current at a particular value of z. Whereas the z naught was defined as the total, the forward traveling wave divided by the forward traveling current. So there is a difference here. This is a total voltage line impedance divided by total current, whereas Z naught is the forward traveling voltage divided by the forward traveling current, and this was comes out to be constant. It is just equals to V naught plus over I naught plus. So in this case, this is it becomes independent to Z. So Z naught will be independent to Z, whereas ZSZ, the line impedance, will depend upon the location of Z, because these two have a different expression. So when you see here, so here you have this is a plus here and this is a minus. So they will depend upon the Z as well. So this is depending upon the line. So this is called the line impedance. So this is called the line impedance. Here. Now going further, you have now this ZSZ can be written as VSZ is V naught plus e to the power minus gamma z plus V naught minus e to the power gamma z over V naught plus e to the power minus gamma z. And now here it is minus V naught e to the power gamma z, and you have to divide with the z naught. So z naught is independent to z, and this will be depending upon z. So this is the expression for the line impedance. This is the expression for the line impedance. So it is very important to note that the line impedance of a line is depending upon the location of the location where you are going to find out. So as you vary the point in the transmission line, the line impedance may vary. It may change. So it is depending upon the, and it will be complex. So line impedance is complex. In general, Z naught is also complex. For lossless line, if you have for lossless line, for lossless line, what will come? Z0 will be real, and ZSZ will become, now it will become V0 plus alpha will be absent here. So what you have? Minus J beta Z, and here it will be V0 minus it will power J beta Z, and this will be V0 plus it will minus J beta Z and minus V0 to the power J beta Z. So this is the expression for the lossless line impedance. So if you want to find the line impedance of lossless lines, so this is the expression reduced for the here. So gamma will only become minus J beta or plus J beta. Alpha will be 0. So this is the line impedance. So same thing we have obtained uh, in this PDF also. So we have obtained this line impedance. So line impedance given by. So line impedance is the ratio of the total voltage to the total current at a point described by Z. The line impedance is a function of Z, that is it varies with Z, where a characteristic impedance constant for any value. So here we have find the line impedance. Okay. Now moving to the reflection coefficient. So the voltage reflection coefficient at any point on the line is a ratio of the reflected voltage wave to the incident wave. So what will happen when you have this line, a transmission line is there. So the positive voltage wave, the incident wave will move in the positive z direction, this one, and whereas the uh, this wave which is moving uh, in the negative z direction is called the reflected wave. So ratio of these two, that the ratio of Vs minus Z over Vs plus Z is generally called the reflection coefficient. Okay, how much voltage of this is reflected back in this direction if we watching at this point. So if it is, let's suppose the sub interface, we want to say it is Z, we want to say whatever voltage is going, what part of this voltage is moving this direction will be reflected back here. That is called the reflection coefficient here in general. So here we have the reflection coefficient. So we can, here you have the line here. So we have this line here, transmission line is there. So Vs, this is Vs plus Z, which is moving in this direction, and we have Vs minus Z, which is moving in this direction. So here the reflection coefficient is gamma is a function of z also, because we are watching at particular z. In general, it is a function of z, and we are saying that this is at that particular z. What do we have? Vs minus of z multiply divided by the Vs plus of z is the reflection coefficient. So for this point, the reflection coefficient, now when you open it, you will have the Vs minus Z is V naught negative e to the power. It is moving in the negative Z direction, so it will be a plus gamma Z divided by V naught plus e to the power minus gamma Z. Okay, because it's moving in the positive x direction, so it will, so here should be a minus sign. So it is just V naught minus over V naught plus e to the power 2 gamma z. This is the reflection coefficient at a particular point z. Here you have this one. Now if you put z equals to 0 at z equals to 0, what will become? So z equals to 0 when you put here, z equals to 0, this point is 0. So what you will get? So we denote this one with gamma naught, that where z equals to 0, which is defined as gamma 0, and now it will become just v naught minus over v naught plus. Here it will become 1, so it will be just a, so it will be e to the power 0, and you will get just v naught over v naught plus here. So replacing these two from here, therefore what you have in general, gamma z can be written in term of gamma naught, that the reflection coefficient at z equals to 0. So it will be just gamma naught e to the power 2 gamma z. This is how you can write the gamma z. This is a function of z. If you know the initial value, that is the at z equals to 0, what is the reflection coefficient, and we know the propagation constant, so we can find the deflection coefficient at any value of z using this expressions. So once we know this gamma naught, we can find this one. And for the lossless line, this will become for lossless line, the reflection coefficient will become, this will be e to the power j 2 beta z, because alpha will be 0. So for the lossless lines, this is the case here, where you have the this one case. Now once we know the reflection coefficient at point z, now we can find the line impedance in terms of the reflection coefficient, or we can find the reflection coefficient in terms of the line impedance. So earlier what having we have, so we have this, let's take another pen. So we have this one. So we have the line impedance was given was as z equals to z, which is equals to z naught, or what is this ratio? So you have Vs plus z plus Vs minus z, and you can write here this as Vs plus z and Vs minus z. If you do that, you can, what is Vs plus z is equals to v naught plus e to the power minus gamma z. So from here, what we can say, this is a here. So what is this? This is this part. This part is the Vs plus z incident wave, and this is the Vs minus z, that is the reflected wave. Similarly, this is the incident wave, and voltage wave is the reflected wave. So these two are same. These two are same, and a minus sign. So we can write here this as a, so here you can write this as a here, and be divided by this one. So now we already know what is the reflection coefficient. So we have defined the reflection coefficient here. So here we have defined the reflection coefficient in this case. This is Vs minus z, Vs plus z. So the same pattern, what we can go, we can have now z will be written as z naught, and this will be Vs plus z and this will be just a gamma z multiplied with the Vs plus z. This part is a how much wave is reflected at point z. So it will multiply the reflection coefficient multiply the forward traveling wave divided by you have V plus z minus gamma z, you have V s plus z. Now it will be Vs. So this is how you can. So this will become, if you take common, zz equals to, if you take common Vs plus z, that will be cancel out, and finally what you are getting, z naught 1 1 minus gamma z over 1 plus gamma z. So this is how this is uh, line impedance in terms of z naught and the reflection coefficient. So this is very important term because if you know the reflection coefficient and z naught is given for any transmission line, you can find the line impedance at point. Or if you know zz line impedance, you can find the reflection. So this expression is used to convert the one parameter, this parameter to this one, or this to this one. So you can use to conversion of these two parameters. You can have a relation here. Once you know the reflection coefficient, you can find the line impedance, or once you know the line impedance, you can find the reflection coefficient. So if you want to find the expression for reflection coefficient in terms of the line impedance, you can go through this one again. So when you see, so it will be here zz 1 plus gamma z equals to z naught 1 minus gamma z. Or if you open this, so what it become? So zz uh, here it will be minus z naught, and it will be minus z naught gamma z minus zz gamma z. So if you further do analysis, what you will get? So here you have gamma z equals to what you're getting, zz minus z naught over zz plus z naught. You can verify, you will get this expression. You will take this common gamma z, and you will get here z naught minus z naught, and it will be simply, you can proceed. You can verify, I have done already here. So when you have this one, so you will have, okay, we have done some mistake here. So what was the mistake? So here it was a mistake. So this will be a plus, and this will be a plus, and this will be a minus here. So here it will be a, again you choose this one. So here it will be a plus, and here it will be a minus. If you minus, this will be a minus gamma z. So here it will be a, here will be a minus, and this will become a plus. Okay, and this will become a plus, plus plus, and you will get this one. So you will get this equation. So once you know, uh, you have here the line impedance in terms of the reflection coefficient, and here you have the reflection coefficient in terms of the line impedance. Now one important thing I left here, the properties of the reflection coefficient. So what do you see from here, reflection coefficient, the this gamma is lying from 0 to 1. So we have the one property, so gamma naught, we are talking about the okay, let's wait, I will talk it later. So let's proceed further, then I will talk about this one later. So now we have this expression, we have this reflection coefficient here and the line impedance related by these two expressions. So this will be used later when we talk about the Smith chart, and that is very important. You should remember these expressions. Now take this figure again, and we take this, we select this equation. Let me do it, then I will start again. So let's take again this figure, and let use the connected load ZL. So what you have now for this case where we have the load is connected at this endpoint. Now we will find the reflection coefficient, the line impedance for this type of special case. Up till now we have find out the general line impedance for a transmission line, and we have find out the reflection coefficient at any point Z. Now if the load is connected ZL, that is a complex load, at this end point of this transmission line, then what will be the line impedance in terms of ZL, and what is the reflection coefficient? So let's find out what is the line impedance at Z equals to 0. So at Z equals to 0, what do we have? We assumed that ZL equals at this place at Z equals to 0. So at Z equals to 0, so Z is given by Z equals to 0 will be just a, what is this one? You can find what we have used expression, but here it is simple because this is of total voltage is VL and total current is IL passing through ZL. So we can have a VL, this will be same as Z equals to 0. This will be total voltage upon the total current. Now here it will be Z equals to 0, and here it will be Z equals to 0. But yeah, this is Z equals to 0, this will be VL and it will be IL, and VL over IL is the impedance ZL. So here it is ZL. Now what is the reflection coefficient? The reflection coefficient at Z equals to 0, so we call is as a gamma 0, and because this load is also connected, so sometimes it is written as gamma L. So we will refer here as the gamma L. That is the reflection coefficient at Z due to this load L. So we call this to be a gamma L. So don't confuse with the small l. This is small l is different length, and gamma capital L give you the reflection coefficient at point where this load is connected. So we call the gamma L. Now what will be the reflection coefficient? The reflection coefficient uh, here will be given by this gamma L, which is equals to gamma Z equals to 0, will be, we already know Z equals this one, and it will be given by, in term of line impedance, Z equals to 0 minus Z naught, sorry, just it is Z equals to 0 minus Z naught over Z equals to 0 plus Z naught. Now Z equals to 0, what is this? At Z equals to 0, we define the line impedance to be this ZL, which is equals to the ZL, that is the load is connected. So it will be ZL minus Z naught over ZL plus Z naught. So here what we are getting, so gamma L equals to this one, but this is same as equals to gamma naught. So this is an important relation. Okay, if the load is connected at Z equals to 0, the reflection coefficient at this point where the load is connected is comes out to ZL minus Z naught, ZL plus Z naught. So whenever you have some load connected in a transmission line, so maybe at Z equals to 0 somewhere, if a load is connected at this transmission line, so this just due to this load, the transmission line is connected to this one, maybe at any position. So due to this, the part of the wave will be reflected back. The incident wave will come here, they will come here, and part of this will be reflected back. And the reflection coefficient due to this load at this point will be just given by ZL minus Z naught. That is the load itself, ZL, and Z naught is the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. This is this part. This Z naught is of this transmission line, and ZL is here is the load. You can find the reflection coefficient at this point here. This is a very important, and future you will also use to find the reflection. Once you know gamma naught, you can find the reflection coefficient at any point. So once you know gamma naught, for example, if you have uh, this line is here. So once you know this gamma L or gamma naught, you can find the gamma Z at any location on this transmission line. Similarly, you can, once you know the reflection coefficient, you can find the line impedance at the point. So once you know the reflection coefficient, you can find all other things. So these reflection coefficient will depend upon Z naught, they depend upon ZL, and then at which location you are going to find out the line impedance. So here this is a very important relation, ZL minus Z naught, ZL. Now from here, in general, ZL is complex, Z naught is complex, so gamma L will be complex. So the gamma L will be complex. Even if we take the lossless transmission line, Z naught will become real, but ZL is a load impedance. It may be complex. So in general, gamma L will be always be complex. We consider to be complex. So gamma L equals to, we can write this as a gamma is some magnitude, and it will have some phase, and we talk about phase with the phi L. So phi L is the phase of this gamma L, and this is the magnitude of this one. So in general, we can write here in this form. So gamma L is given by gamma L e to the power j phi L. Okay. So here is the complex quantity in here. Now next is, now you want to find the reflection coefficient at different value of Z, then here what you will have, now gamma Z is, we know that is given by gamma naught e to the power 2 gamma beta. Okay, sorry, gamma z. Now here, because gamma naught is same as gamma L, so it can be written as gamma L e to the power 2 gamma z. Same thing here. Now we will take the specific case here uh, for lossless line. So for lossless line, gamma equals to j beta. So what we will have now, this propagation is the propagation constant, and this is the reflection coefficient capital gamma z. So it will be written as here. Now also the gamma L will have some magnitude and phase. So let me write down this first. E to the power j 2 beta z. Which further be, you can write gamma L, the magnitude, and it will have some also phase phi L, and it will multiply with the j 2 beta z. Now this again gamma z can be written as this one, and e to the power j 2 beta z plus phi L is phi L. So what is important here, the conclusion is that if you have a transmission line, and at the end point you have gamma L, that's when where the load is connected, then at different location of Z you will have this is the gamma. So you can, it's proper to again understand. So let's take this figure again. So you just paste it here. So you have this figure. So what it means that here, this is, if you know this gamma L here, this is a gamma L at this location, then at any point you can find the gamma Z. So what is the beauty of this? Here for the lossless line, if this is a lossless line, in that case you have this, the magnitude of this is also the magnitude of gamma L. The magnitude of this reflection coefficient at Z, some arbitrary value of Z, has the same magnitude. So whatever magnitude you have the reflection coefficient, the magnitude remains same over the whole line if it is a lossless. If it is a lossy, then it will also decrease. But if it is a lossless line, so the magnitude of this reflection coefficient at each point of Z remain constant. Whereas it will change the phase. Phase will depend upon the Z. This is a initial phase. Initial phase of this one, you have some phase also. So it will have some phase here. But when you move here due to this part, the phase will change. So at Z equal to some value equal to 0 will be phi L. Then you move some negative Z because this Z direction is here. So when you move the negative direction, this phase may change. So the phase may change. So here, as you move over this transmission line, the phase of this reflection coefficient will be different. However, the amplitude of this or the magnitude of this reflection coefficient remains same. And whatever you have the initial magnitude, you will have the same. This is the case for the lossless line. So in general, for simplicity, we'll use a lossless. So you can find easily the magnitude. Low loss lines also have the same property. However, this somehow the magnitude may also decrease. But this is a very important result. Just if you know this gamma L, you can find the gamma Z, and keeping in mind that the magnitude remains same, however the phase may change here, and phase may repeat over this one. If it is 2 pi, then again you will get, if it is this part is 2 pi, then again it will give the phi l. So this will repeat. So whatever what you have, 2 pi z, if it is gone by 2 pi, that is if you write z equals to 2 pi and 2 will be cancelled, so here it will be just a pi. And what is beta? Beta is 2 pi over lambda. So pi again will be cancelled. So it will be lambda by 2. So when you move by lambda by 2 distance on this line, for example, lambda is for example 1 centimeter. So if you move by half centimeter, again you will get the same phase. So you will have the same phase if moved by lambda by 2. So at half wavelength, this will be repeated. Whatever you have gamma L, at the half wavelength, you will have the same gamma L. And second, then full lambda, you will have the same gamma L. And the 3 lambda by 2, you will get the same. So it will be repeated. So the phase will be repeated after this distance lambda by 2 over this one. So lossless line. So you keep in mind that the magnitude remains same and phase will change over this line, and it will be repeated after the lambda by 2 distance once when this become twice of this one. Okay, so this is a very important result. Now coming to the property of this gamma L. So what do you have? So we have this gamma L. Gamma L was given by ZL minus Z naught over ZL plus Z naught. Okay, at this point. So you have this transmission line and you are connected with load here, this one. You are finding the ZL at this point. Sorry, gamma L at this point, and you have the ZL, which is Z naught. For the now lossless line, for you have, this is a lossless line, so this will be gamma L equals to gamma L magnitude e to the power minus this will be twice j twice beta z. Now from here, what you can say, if ZL is also real, ZL is also real, and if the lossless, for lossless, we are counting the line is lossless as we have already considered, and ZL is real. So what will happen? Gamma L will be real. So this is real, this is real. So this may give you the real quantity. So gamma L will be real. So now in this case you have two options. It will be real positive or real negative. If this value is more than Z naught, it will be positive. And if this value is more than this one, you will have. So gamma L will be real, will be positive if ZL is greater than Z naught. What it means that now the phi L will be 0. Phi L will be 0. Yeah. And if you have gamma L will be negative if ZL is less than Z naught. So this here. So this implies as now it will be phi L will be pi or minus phi. So it will be phi L 0 or 2 pi, same thing. Similarly, you can have the phi L to be pi minus. So you have this property here. There's, if both are real, ZL is real, load is real, and this is a lossless line where Z0 will become real under root L over C. In this case, gamma L will be real. Now, if ZL is positive, but is higher than Z0, then you will have the positive value. It means the phase is 0. You will only have the magnitude. And if this is Z0 is higher than ZL, then you have the phase will be is pi. So that you get the negative sign. This is how. Next thing is here that the maximum value of ZL, this gamma L will lie from 0 to 1. So this magnitude of gamma L will always lie from 0 to 1. So if for example you have condition, first what we have Z naught ZL is 0. ZL is equals to ZL equals to 0. So what it means, if the load is 0, that is, it is load is 0, it means short circuited. The line is short circuited at the end. Short circuited. You have just shorted. So you have the transmission line. You have this transmission line here. You have this transmission line, and you shorted this one. So you shorted with this one. So you will have that ZL to be 0, shorted with some conductor with high conductivity. So here in this case they will be shorted, and it means the load ZL will be 0. In that case, what will happen? What we will have, the gamma L will become minus Z naught over Z naught, and which will be equals to minus 1. So in this case, the gamma is uh, you have this minus 1, so it will be what you have, the magnitude will be 1, and the phi L equals to pi or minus phi. Okay, minus 1, the gamma L. So when you short circuit the line, the reflection coefficient at this point will become minus 1. What it means, that magnitude is 1 means your whole power will be reflected back. Whatever you have, you multiply. In this case, if you, so it means that minus this one, V naught minus, is same as V naught plus. Magnitude of this one, and phases pi will be reversed, so minus will be there. So you will have, this will be reflected back, and the phase will be reversed of this voltages. Next, if you have, next point, if you have ZL to be infinite, that is, the line is open circuit. The line is open circuit. Open. So what do we do? We have, so we just remember, keep it open here. So keep it open. It means you will infinite impedance you will providing here. So in that case, what will happen? So you can take it common. You will have the 1. So when you put here, you will take out ZL common, cancel out. Z naught over ZL will be 0. These will be 0. So it will be 1 here. So you can find that gamma L in this case will be the 1. So here again, the magnitude is 1 and the phase is 0. So what you will see again, so the whole wave will be reflected back without any phase change. So if you open circuit the line, here in this case, then the whole wave will be reflected back without any changing in the phase. The voltage will be reflected back. So this is the case where you have the open circuit. So whenever you have an open circuit or short circuit, the whole wave will be reflected back. The magnitude will remain same. In one case, the phase will be reversed. In the other case, the phase will remain same. Okay. So this is how you have. The third case is when you have, third case is where ZL is equals to Z naught. That is, the load is equals to the characteristic impedance of the transmission line. In that case, this reflection coefficient will be 0. So reflection coefficient means 0. It means no power will be reflected back. Whatever power, incident power is there, there will be no reflected power. So if you have this here, you have this load is connected. This one load is connected, and this ZL is equals to Z naught. It means whole power is absorbed by the ZL and no power will be reflected back. So in this case, we will get the maximum power will transmit, and is called the this load is called the match to Z naught. This load is called the matched load. So it is matched to the transmission line. So whenever we want to have the matched load, matching of this load, that this should be the match to the characteristic impedance. So once ZL is equal to Z naught, So all the power will be absorbed by ZL, all the wave will be absorbed by ZL, and no wave will be reflected back. So in general, we use the value of ZL to be Z0 to match the load with the transmission so that no reflection should be zero. So practically, we want to avoid the reflections in the practical industry or practically when you implement the whole communication system. So here we generally whenever we connect the transmission line with the load, so we connect in such a way that this ZL should be matched to Z0 so that no reflection should go in the transmission line. This is called the match load. So this is called the load is matched. So here in this case, what will the load is the load is matched to the Z0 or the transmission line. Okay, so these are three special case of this line impedance. So I stop here, and the next one we will take the standing wave ratios, which are very important in the transmission line as well.